You're listening to The Parenting Space, a podcast brought to you by parents and practitioners from the South London and Maudsley NHS Foundation Trust. A podcast where you can hear us discuss and debate issues around parenting and mental well-being.
Welcome back to The Parenting Space. Today we're going to be talking about our children's feelings and how we're acknowledging them. I am joined here with Amelia today. Amelia, how are you? Would you like to introduce yourself?
So my name is Amelia Kwagbala. I am a parent facilitator. So we run parenting groups, and I'm also a women's coach. I've got 3 girls, 17, 13, and 9.
Firstly, why is this topic important to you?
I remember very well being on the parenting program myself, and the facilitators were like, "Oh, today we're going to talk about feelings." And I could see myself rolling my eyes. I'm like, "Oh, really, feelings?" I'm from Ghana. We don't do feelings. Children are supposed to be seen, not heard. So with that in mind, and with my own experience growing up, that was the thing that was least connected with the least of my parenting strengths, because it wasn't my experience as a child. So I got, even though I wasn't very keen on learning about it, once I got my head around it, I can say now it's become one of my strongest characteristics as a parent.
And that's so inspiring to hear that it was something that you didn't see as a strength coming into the program, and then at the end of it you've just mentioned that you feel it's one of your strengths, which is beautiful. I guess thinking about what then does it mean to deny your child's feelings, and what are the potential consequences?
So a lot of the time, sometimes some of the things that we say or do, it's with good intention, without realizing the impact on others. So like I was saying before, growing up, you were told, "Oh, don't cry, don't be sad. It's okay, it's just a little thing. Why are you crying over these little things?" So things like that, a lot of the time, the parent's intention is good, is to sort of take the pain away or the sadness away. But we are saying when we do that, we are not allowing the child to have those feelings by telling them, "Don't cry, don't be sad." When this happens over a long term, some of the effects can be, low self-esteem, because what our children are learning is that it's not okay to have those feelings. It's not okay to be sad. It's not okay to be angry. And when this is something that is ongoing over a period of time, it affects their ability to feel, because all they know is that my feeling is not valid. That's what I've been told. I like this example that I read about feelings being denied. It's like holding them down, holding a beach ball underwater. It's only a matter of time that you can hold it for a certain amount of time, and then the wrong timing, it will just explode.
I really like the analogy and how it can just build up over time, because as you were speaking, I heard the term little, and you were saying when people say, "Oh, don't cry," or "Don't worry about that little thing," and I know, as you said, parents sometimes will do it with good intention, but it's that framing that sometimes can minimize the child's feelings or your child's feelings, and then it comes into that whole beach ball effect of everything is little, but then it builds up into a big thing. So Amelia, how do we make sure that we acknowledge our child's feelings? I know you touched on that a bit just a minute ago, but how do we acknowledge our child's feelings?
Well, first of all, you cannot give what you don't have. So it's important that as parents, we learn to acknowledge our own feelings, because you need to learn how to manage or how to express your own feelings. Then that gives you the space to be able to acknowledge your child's feelings. So with the example I gave us in saying, "Oh, don't cry," or "Don't be angry," when your child comes back from school and say things like, "My friend didn't play with me today," so a lot of the time we are quick to go in, "Oh, what happened? Why did they not play with you, and go in with all the questions? But what we are saying to do differently is to acknowledge that a child whose friend has not played with them will most likely feel sad. So repeat back what they said with the feeling word. So you repeat back with the feeling word. Oh, you feel sad. Mary didn't play with you today. And it's a statement, not a question. And most times parents will say, oh, but what if I get it wrong? And it's okay if you say you feel sad Mary didn't play with you today, and your child is not feeling sad but feeling angry. They will correct you. So no, I'm not feeling sad. I'm really angry that Mary didn't play with me today. And then that's the opportunity to reframe what you said. Oh, you feel angry Mary didn't play with you today. So acknowledging the feeling is one of the ways that you can help your child feel less overwhelmed.
You basically touched on a lot of the things I was going to ask, because the fact that you said that there are sometimes parents might not be able to acknowledge what it is that their child is feeling, and it's okay to not get it right. And I think that's a really powerful message to share, that it's okay if you don't get the question, the feeling right, because your child will correct you, and it's just about being there and validating those feelings. And then I guess the final question is just thinking about, what do you think some of the benefits of acknowledging feelings are?
When your feelings are acknowledged, it improves your self-esteem, because you know, oh, it's okay to feel like this. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel lonely. It's also important that, you know, when our children are having these feelings, to encourage them to express it in different ways. And all these will help with their self-esteem.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Amelia. And is there any final thing that you would like to say before we finish up?
Yes, just to encourage parents to give it a go. It takes practice to do it. You will not get it right the first time. 8 years into this, and sometimes I get it wrong, and that's okay. And when you remember, you come back to it and start again, or continue from where you left off. And I always say parenting is the only job you don't get trained before you start. So you're doing the best you can with the knowledge and the experience you have.
Thank you so much, Amelia. And thank you for being so open and honest and vulnerable, and sharing that with parents, and acknowledging that actually, yes, it's okay to get it wrong. Thank you for your wise words of encouragement. And thank you for joining us here today on The Parenting Space.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure.
You've been listening to The Parenting Space, a podcast brought to you by the CAMHS team at South London and Maudsley NHS Foundation Trust. If you need support after today's discussion in the podcast, please talk to someone that you trust, or follow the links in the description to get general advice and support. The Parenting Space is available on all podcast platforms. If you'd like to hear more discussions like this, subscribe to our channel and you'll receive a notification every time we release a new episode. If you've enjoyed listening to this episode, let us know your thoughts over on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. You can find us at @theparentingspace_official.